Hi guys, so welcome back to part 5 of Uncut, unedited raw coding for Wikipedia. So we are in part 5 now, and I'm using Selenium and Java to automate the interacting of the web elements in Wikipedia. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Yeah. So let's see where we stopped the last time. If I'm not wrong, we stopped here, which we remove all the tags under discussion. Mm, so just to be sure, let's just run the program and see what's the output. Okay, so it might break because the Wikipedia's page will change every now and then, right? So when things break, then it's a good opportunity for us to debug stuff. So you can see debugging in real time also, which is I think quite valuable for you guys to also see how the process of debugging goes. So from here, right off the bat, you can see that what is missing is the whole Polish language, if I'm not wrong. So if we look at it here, it seems they removed the Polish language. So because of that, I will remove the Polish language from the site, from the automation. So let me just search for skill. So it's over here. Now just comment it out, including this comment also. Okay, cool. So now that it's done, let's run again. Let me close this first. Okay, then run. So everything is passing. Mm-hmm. And below here, everything minus and deletes. Everything is deleted from the search in box. Okay, yeah, we can ignore this error message because it's related to let me check below. It's related to the next page, which I was ignoring for a while because we wanted to automate just this page for now. Okay, so yeah, so in that case, what I want to do is I just want to bring this whole program together so we don't have the error. So from here, uh, I will want to just click here, and I think I did that here, but just to be sure, what I can do is I can run including this code now and see what happens. Passing as usual, pass. Okay, then now we are inside the Selenium software page, and then you can see that everything is good, so there are no errors. Extracting the data also is working. So now Let me think of what else we can automate. Or maybe we can do assertions. Okay, typically assertions, when we want to do assertions, we will we will integrate it with a test framework called testng, which also includes test reporting features also. But in this case, this project only has Selenium, so we can also do assertions um, without testng, and we can do that using if-else statements, right? So let's see. Okay, I'm trying to think of a test case that we can assert from start to finish. So let's go to the home page and take a look first. English. Okay. Okay, I have one test case that we can do. So what I'm going to do is I am going to comment out all of this first. So when I comment this, that means it will not be executed. Hmm. Okay, hold on, just give me a minute to figure out why the commenting isn't working. Probably because it's too big. Okay, never mind. We can do another thing where we set a counter. So let's do probably do a boolean check. Boolean run. This case run test case set English. Okay, I should probably let you know what my test case is. So my test case is to navigate to Wikipedia first. The test steps. So test steps is to first navigate to this page first, and then click on English, and then assert that this whole page is in English. And to do that, we will take this welcome. Take welcome as the cue that it is in English. So if this is equals to welcome, then the assertion is passed. It's true. that means that the page is in English. Okay. So that's why I put it run test case as an English. Okay, so I do want to use this boolean equals true so that I will ignore all of the rest of these codes. So if this run test case equals to then execute the test steps and session. Else you will execute all of these instead. So since this is currently true, then that means that it will execute the test steps in here and not the else, within the else block. Okay. So let us continue with the steps. So step 1 is, so basically there are 3 main steps. Step 1 is click English language. Step 2 is well, actually that's 2 steps. Yeah, assert welcome. Assert that this element equals to welcome. Yeah. Let me think what to put this. Is this a header? Header. Probably header. Assert header tag equals to welcome. So that would mean that this whole page is in English. Okay. Now let's start with clicking the English language, which we can reuse quotes. So I'm copying the quotes over, removing the driver.navigate back because we don't need to navigate back. Then I'm clicking the English link. Clicking the English link. But this is not the right locator because this is going to locate here, this one. So I want it to locate this English instead. So we have to change this locator. And going to right click, select, and use selectors hub like we always do. Then you can use link text, which has just one matching result. So that means that it will point to this one correctly. So let's change this to link text. Link text. English dot click. And then this will say that clicking the English link pass. So when we go here, if we want to assert, okay, in testng, maybe I should just give a tip here. So in testng, to assert, we will use assert equals. Actually, there are a few asserts in testng. There are multiple asserts, so I typically use assert equals and assert true. So assert equals, you can assert based on whether a string matches another string, like whether the expected string matches the actual string. So expected and actual, it will assert that the expected and the actual are whether they are matching or not. So that's for testng assert class. So it's an assert class. So it's assert equals. Assert equals is a method within the assert class. Okay. So for the purpose of this, we won't be using that because we're not using testng. We're only using Selenium. So we will now move to assert the header. So okay, if this element is ID, welcome to Wikipedia. So this is by ID. I'm going to look at by ID and dot text get text dot contains the word welcome. So this is basically checking if this header contains the word welcome. That means that let me just type this. So it'll be useful for anybody who wants to use this code. If header contains welcome. This means the page is in English. Right. So the page is in English, then we can print this. We can print that the page is displayed in English. I mean, of course, if you want to do like further checks, you can always modify this if statement to include like additional, additional like checks to see whether this main page contains the word main, whether this talk contains the word talk, or whether this element text contains the word from. So these are just additional checks to ensure that the page is really in English. But for this case, we are just using welcome. Okay, so we can do an else statement if we want, which says that this means the page is not in English. Then you can print the page displayed. It's not in English. Okay. So we have our first test case and assertion steps right here. So just to run you through it, this is finding the element here and then clicking it, and then you will click the English link pass. Then we will go to the next page, and in this next page, in this next page, it will find this header and then check that it contains the word welcome, and that would mean that the page is in English, so it will go in this block, this if block, and then it will print the page is displayed in English. Otherwise, the page is not in English, and then you'll print the page displayed is not in English. So we can, what I will do is I will run the positive, I will run it correctly, and then we'll see the output. So let's see if anything breaks first. Okay, so we have to click this first. So I didn't do that. So let me do that. So there's an additional step, right? So to click read Wikipedia in your language. Then close first. Go back. So let me inspect this. And then I'll use CSS selector. Driver.find element by CSS selector. Click. Then we run. Then what happens? Unable to locate element in text selector English. So clicking this cannot be found. So let's inspect and try to see whether the locator is able to locate. Oh, yeah, from here. So there is a link text English. Click here. Oh, there is no link text English. Interesting. So we should, oh wait, this is link text. Title English. And the error says no such element. Link text selector English. Okay, let's try XPath. So for XPath, I want to use title English. So this is A title plus English. Okay, so it's locating 1 out of 1, and this should work. A title English. So let's run again. Element not interactable. Let us do let's do an implicit wait. So probably because it was loading too fast. The page loaded too fast, and then it probably couldn't detect and find this English link. So it so be a driver dot driver dot probably see the driver class. Selenium. Drivers. No, we should probably see the wait class. So implicit wait, you can use this. So we can wait for 2 seconds. And we have to probably import some classes if I'm not wrong. So we have to import duration class, and we are good. Yep, we are good. And let's see whether that would solve the error. Okay, that did solve the error, and then you can see that click the English link path, the page is displayed in English, right? Display in English. Okay, so let's do a case. Let's do a case where I click on a link that is not English and then see what happens. So we have here click English language, right? So if I want to test whether this test case assertion works, I will just comment this out for the time being, and then I'll purposely click click a language that is not English. So let's click French. Click French. So can use link text. Link text. Click French language. Then I'll put a note here saying for negative test. So we have link text. Paste. So it will locate by link text. Click the French link or pass. Okay, so it will bring us to the next page in the French Wikipedia, and then it will not be displayed in English, right? So if it's not being displayed in English, this will fail. This condition will fail. So we will not execute this if we will go into the else block, and then it will say the page displayed is not in English. Right. So let's do this. Let's run the program. There you can see that it's in French now. And yeah, we obviously have an error because we can't even locate this in the first place. Yeah. If we want to make this more robust, we might even want to include in this if statement an or clause, or just to check that we can even locate the header in the first place, right? But this is just showing you that um this is just showing you that uh, that it it is having this exception because it's not even locating this in the first place, so it will just automatically fail. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so it seems like that's all the time we have for today. This is part 5, and there should be a part 6 if everything is well. So do subscribe if you want to see what goes on in the next part. Maybe I'll enhance upon this session, or maybe I'll do something else. So we'll see. No fixed plan. Bye bye.